All right, this short video will focus on managing and creating contacts using Google Gmail. The very first thing you have to do is actually open up Gmail. So I'll open up a tab and just type in gmail.com. When it opens it up, you'll see that I currently have, I don't have any messages. That's great. But you'll also notice right here it says Gmail. I can click on this and I have three different options. I can do Gmail, I could do contacts, or I have a selection called tasks, which we'll talk about in another video. If I select contacts, you'll notice that I don't have, or I have very few contacts here. It looks like I have a couple friends. Two of them are me, two are Ed Price. And what I want to do right now is I actually want to create a different group. That's the very first thing I want to do. So I'll go to More Labels, and I'll say New Group. And I'll call this one Test. Now you'll notice on the left-hand side, I now will have this test as one of my contacts. Now there's not anybody in there, but I've created a folder called test. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to actually add a couple of emails. So you click on the little person to add, and you can actually type in an email address there, or, well, let's just do that. So I'll do 26jthorough@gmail. This is just another one of my emails.com. I'm going to do multiple ones. So I have that one there. I'm also going to do thorough J@Wauwatosa. Okay, and then the last one that I'm going to do is I will do another one for Ed Price. So Price. All right, now when I hit add, I now have these three individuals within my test group. So that's what I have. Now it already knew these people because they were in my contacts before. You'll notice that they're labeled a few different times. They're in my contacts under friends. They're also under the test category. The reason why this is important is when I write an email later on, I could either select the friends and go and click on this one, or I could just type the word test in my address bar and the email will address all these people. Let's put one more in that's not currently in these circles. So I'll add this here, and I will do, let's do, and I'll add. And now I have this other one here who's also, it looks like just under test. So I have some information here, which is nice. Now what I have is if I actually go in and I want to create or make an actual email, if I go back and click on Gmail here in the tab, and I say compose, whenever I type in the word test, it will automatically put in all the people within that group. This is extremely helpful if you have, like a classroom set. So I generally make like an hour one set, an hour two, an hour four, whatever your classes are. And then I have a separate one for their parents as well. So what I can do is then I could either email just the parents, just the kids, and generally with the parent one I also put the kids' emails in there as well, so they get all those, they have access to every email that I send their parents. But then instead of having to find every one of those parent emails, I just type in hour one and all of the emails are there for me. So that's extremely helpful. Now you might ask, what if you want to upload a lot of them at one time versus just doing one at a time like I was just doing here before? Well, there's a few things that you can do. The very first thing is you can create a CSV file. It's just an Excel file. It's pretty easy. On the top, you'd put down first name, last name, and email address. You would then fill in your information, which you could do this actually really easily with a form. So if you create a form, and I can show you how to do that another time in another video, but you'd say first name, last name, and email address. This would come into a Google Doc, like a spreadsheet, or an Excel sheet, and you just save this as a CSV file. Once you get to here, and I want to, let's say, import a large group, so if I have a classroom list that's already filled out that CSV file, I can make the CSV file, choose the file, and import it, and it will automatically import into my contacts, which is really nice. The one thing you might have to do after that is you might have to put them into different groups. It's very easy because you just look at all of your contacts. So right here, this is just my contacts. These are the four. They do happen to be my test group as well. Let's say I want to eliminate one or two. So I just want to take them off, and I'll just say delete contact. Well, if I look here, they've been deleted from both this contact list here and my contacts as well. So just so you're aware. So again, if I want to create a group, I'll just go to more labels, new group, enter the group name. This will be test 2. Now you'll see test 2 is up here as well. Now it's kind of strange because this one was called test 3, so maybe I want to rename this group. How do you rename a group? That's important, right? Just simply go up to more, rename group. So I'll call this one test 5. And now this is changed to test 5 and I have test 2. So that's how you do groups, and it's really important to make these listservs like this. It saves you a lot of time. Also, whenever you share documents, this is kind of neat. So now that I have my test 5 or whatever I called it, let's say I want to create a document. And let's just go to Drive. And this will be another thing as well, but I just want to show you. So if I go to create a document, and let's say I want to share it, I could share it. So it says invite people. I could put down test 5. So this works with this one as well. And now I've shared it with all of these people without having to think of everybody's email address. So your listservs will work not only with email, but whenever you share documents. So it's really important to get these into your Gmail account.